All right, well, we're here today reviewing some FOIL requests and with Mr. Abruzzo. And he's again more or less acting as a chaperone. Before I get into the new information the clerk has allegedly provided me, I just wanted to follow up with some of the disputed information from the last visit to review FOIL. So we had spoke about these FOIL requests 26, 9, 30, and 31, how they were mixed up, transposed, and now there's some additional certified statements. And then I was also waiting for the certified letter and the certified statement from Town Attorney Matt Rosea. So
930 and 931 is in there.
Excuse me for a second. Excuse me, sir. Could I ask you a question? Would you mind identifying yourself, please? You work for the town?
I work for the town of Oyster Bay, yes.
Yes. Do you want to tell me who you are? Or?
Rob Mangano?
Hi, how do you do? Are you in the Marine Corps?
I'm sorry?
Were you in the Marine Corps?
No, my son is.
Oh, yeah. Sounds fine. Listen, can I ask you a question?
I don't know anything about...
Yeah, I see the problem is neither does Mr. Abruzzo, and I don't mean to be argumentative, but there's a couple of like compounded mistakes here. And, Jason was here last time we spoke, and he understood, what the errors were. And before I can move on to like new information they want to provide me, I want to close out what I came to see and wasn't correct. And the information is, what they did is they have two FOILs, 26-930 and 26-931, and they have the answers mixed up. They're answering for one and they're labeling the number of the other. So the stuff they sent me certified statements and everything that are incorrect. Right, so I don't want to start saying the town's sending incorrect certified statements on purpose. I want to straighten it out. I think it's just an error on the town clerk's on the part. I'm not trying to make a big deal out of it. I just want to get the information correct. That's all.
So
you understand what I mean?
930.
Well, yeah, take a look at it. I just want to explain to you. It's not a big deal. Look, what happened was I came in and last time I was here, there were a number of FOIL requests that were supposed to be answered, but we discussed and they weren't adequately answered. So these were two of them, 930 and 931. Now, what the town did is they answered 930, but they labeled their answer 931. And they answered 931, and they labeled their answer 930. Okay, so they just swapped them. But now they provided me, I didn't take it because it was incorrect, but they had this information, okay? But they didn't have this information. But now what they did is they sent these two certified letters, and they have it all mixed up again because this letter goes for 931, and it says that none of the you can read it. It talks about it talks about the documents for Bay Constable James Altadonna. That has to do with this one. You understand what I mean? And this one here talks about the peace officer registry forms. That has to do with, you can read it on the FOIL. See, this says peace officer registry forms. So and this, it says this certified statement saying you don't have it, but you do have it. You showed it to us, but I didn't take it because it was mixed up. So I'm not trying to make like big stink out of it.
Right.
I just want to correct it so that I can move on.
Let me just
okay.
check in the clerk's office and see.
All right, thanks.
If it got transposed.
Thanks a lot.
Okay.
Thanks. All right, well, we're still in the FOIL review, and it's of no fault to Mr. Abruzzo's. He's just really here to act as a impartial liaison, I guess you could say. But, the last time we were here, there were a number of FOILs that, I disagreed with the answers, and I just want to, straighten these out before we move on to anything new. There's plenty of stuff here, but there's no communication with the town clerk to identify what's here. So poor Mr. Abruzzo pretty much just has to search through everything here to try to determine if they've answered this handful of FOILs here that they were supposed to be correcting after last meeting. So we'll see what goes on. Okay. All right. I just had to record this. I'm back with Mr. Mangano. Last time I was here, I have the photographs at home to substantiate it. there were records that were provided to me, and in relation to the records was a list of the look at, they changed the whole wording in the statement, man. Oh my God. All right. The Freedom of Information request for the records of peace officer registry forms from 2000 to 2011. Okay. They were here. Now I know they were here, but now I'm being given a certified statement that says they're not here. And Mr. Mangano's telling me that even though, hey Frank, maybe you might want to come over for a second. Mr. Mangano's explaining to me that whether the documents are in the town's possession or not, they're not going to give them to me.
Oh, I didn't say
I know
that.
that they have them. Can you go get them for me now?
I
then?
said that.
That's the impression that I got. Are you gonna? Are we gonna straighten this out? Are you gonna provide me?
They're saying that
These are the documents.
they provided
The
you with.
peace. Yeah, I know. This statement says that the peace officer registry forms from 2007 to 2011 cannot be found by the town clerk after diligent search.
930.
And here they are, right here. Here they are. I knew they existed. Now the strange thing is when I explained this to you, and I asked you if I could have them because I know they exist, you told me that no, that you weren't going to give them to me.
I didn't say that.
Yeah, you
That's what
did.
the statement says.
Yeah. The statement says they don't exist, right? They can't be found. They're right here.
I don't know anything about that.
All right. Thanks for your help with everything, then. Oh, I'm sorry. Could I ask you one other question? Last time we were here, I have a number of foils that were incorrectly answered, such as this one. I gave the list to Mr. Ambrosio. I really think it's ridiculous that he's searching through this pile. He has no idea what's going on. He's searching through this pile to find these
Well,
requests.
I found these are.
I mean, this is in my opinion. Thank you, sir. In my opinion, this is just an unnecessary means to confuse everything. You know what I mean? But that's just my opinion.
It's a lot of information.
Yeah. Which is why, in my opinion, it should be kept, like in some sort of record, not just a big pile, but that's just my opinion. All right, so I guess I'll be able to get the copies of this stuff that you don't have or whatever, but thank you. Thank you for your help. Okay, this is foil 27811. This is supposed to be all documents produced by Andrew Melkenny in association with contract PwC 5513 in relation to his identification of best practice compliance policy, the best practice compliance policy. And then I have a interdepartment memo from Justin McCaffrey to James Altadonna. Attached, please find the following document that was requested in the above FOIL request for all documents produced by Andrew Melkenny in association with contract PwC 5513 in relation to his identification of best practice compliance policy. And he provided the Town of Oyster Bay Confined Space Program. And that's what's in there. So, I don't know, I guess this is what Justin McCaffrey thinks should be provided in relation to the best practice compliance policy. Okay, I had also brought this to Mr. Brozo's.
Well, is that acceptable or?
No, unacceptable. It's the wrong stuff. I brought this to his attention last meeting, and it hasn't been corrected either.
I'll try and find out exactly if there is a problem, and if there is a problem, we'll rectify it.
Okay. Well, the issue that we're having today is my last FOIL visit, I went through a number of FOIL requests that the town identified were ready, and Mr. Brozo and Jason, the employee from the town clerk's office that was here, we were all on the same page. We all agreed that there are a number of FOIL requests that weren't answered correctly. Okay, you agreed that, and then what happened is.
Well, I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure that whether or not they were answered correctly. That's what I'm going to do.
Okay, fair enough.
I'm going to conference with the town clerk's office and find out exactly whether or not they were answered correctly, whether or not they need additional information, But that remains to be determined.
Yes.
And I
And
will
that's
do
the
that.
point, that's the point that I'm trying to make. The point I'm trying to make is, I was here, last FOIL meeting, spent the whole day here, pointed out my objections to a number of FOIL requests, and now I'm back, and I was under the impression that I'm gonna review the FOIL requests that were objected to, and maybe the right information was gonna be provided to me, but it's all the same information that I objected to last time I was here. So my question is, how many times will I have to come and object to the same FOIL requests before the town either gives me a statement that says what I'm looking for doesn't exist, or provides the information that I'm looking for? I mean, it's pretty straightforward when you read one of my FOIL requests, what I'm asking for, and then what information is provided, that it's not even close to what I'm looking for.
Like I said, at this point, what I'm going to do is I'm going to conference with the office of the town clerk. I'm going to see exactly how this situation should be handled from their perspective, and I'll get back to you. I'm you know,
Okay,
to
but
help you out.
you can
Because
understand.
Like I said, my obligations, I am under the law, are to provide you with all the information that is required by the Freedom of Information Law. That's my obligation.
Listen,
as a public
I'm
servant,
just
and
saying.
I'm trying to help you here, and I will, like I said, I will do what I can to assist you. But right now, this is what was presented to me in response to your FOIL request. This is what the office of the town clerk organized, and if we go through it and we don't like the answers, then I'll go back to the town clerk's office and we'll work this out and we'll see exactly what.
I appreciate it, and I thank you, but I just want to point out that that's exactly what you told me last time I was here, and now I'm looking through the same stuff, and
Well,
nothing's
that-
changed. So, I mean, that's just my point, so,
I
okay.
don't know if I said anything last time. I think I did. What I said was that this is what the town clerk is providing. Now,
Right,
I made no
right.
comment about whether or not it was responsive to your request or not. And like I said, I'll go and to the conference and see exactly, so we can resolve this rather than play a blame game and say this guy did
Thank you.
that and that guy did this.
Thank you, because we're spending a lot of time on this redundant material that hasn't changed from last meeting, so I appreciate
Okay.
that. Thanks.
So
Okay, this is 27/8/12. I'm asking for the documents, once again, produced by Andrew Melkenny. And this time, it's in relation to the evaluation and review of contingency plans. All right, so I'm under the impression that Melkenny was supposed to evaluate and review contingency plans. Here's a departmental memo dated November 9th. We're not sure if I can get a copy of this yet, but it reads, this is from, again, Justin McCaffrey to James Altadonna. Please attach, please find the following document that was requested in the FOIL request for all documents produced by Andrew Melkenny in association with contract PWC 5513 in relation to his evaluation and review of contingency plans. And Mr. McCaffrey has provided, 1, the Town of Oyster Bay Disaster Recovery Plan, and 2, the Town of Oyster Bay Comprehensive Disaster Recovery Plan. And I'm sure these are really great disaster recovery plans, but they are not documents produced by Andrew Melkenny in relation to his evaluation and review of any contingency plans. These are the plans themselves. So I don't accept this FOIL either, and you can give me a copy of the letter or you can't. You can let me know. But as far as I'm concerned, that should be a
Okay.
no documents exist, or either that or get me the real, get me Andrew Melkenny's evaluation. Thank you.
okay, do you have a
Okay, this is,
question related to
okay, I'm going to get to it. This is FOIL request 27/8/38. This is another one from the last time I was here, the last meeting, that I objected to. This is supposed to be all the records and receipts for the $7,000 payment made to Cash and Spinelli and Ferretti as a result of John Ellsworth's investigation or research and presentation regarding my Facebook account. And the documents that the town, the documents that the town is intending to provide, if you notice here, this is an interdepartmental memo, and the subject is, it's from Christine Wiss, the Deputy Controller, to Linda Herman and James Altadonna. And the subject is information request 27838, which is what we're speaking about, and 27839. And it says, in response to your memos dated November 2nd regarding the above listed requests, attached please find copy of the requested records. And I accepted these records as an answer to FOIL number 27839. But what they are is they're John Ellsworth's work record, okay? But they're certainly not the records and the receipts for the $7,000 payment. That would include routing numbers or account numbers or whatever information. I mean, we see the records how they're posted with the resolutions all the time, how the payments are made. So there's detailed records how the payments are made. Now my question for you is, I accepted this information. I'm not accepting it today as an answer to FOIL 27838, but I did accept it as an answer to FOIL 27839. But what I didn't realize till I got home and I started reading it is, and this is my question, is why would any of this information be redacted? It's all public information. Like if you go through it, that's you got a copy and I got a copy here. I mean, I'm.
Well, I don't know what's redacted here, you know.
Me either. But like, and when you keep reading through and you go to the timesheets, I mean, why would any of the Ellsworth's information be redacted off a timesheet? What I'm going to do is I'm going to refoil the timesheets because it's almost as if like in giving me the information that I'm asking for in this foil, somebody somewhere in the town doesn't want me to read the rest of the timesheet because I might find something else of interest. I mean, there's no reason to redact it.
Might not be covered by FOIL, but we have to check that too.
Well, I'm thinking the timesheets. What reason would you have to redact any information from his timesheet?
Let me explain.
Go ahead.
FOIL is not an absolute requirement to the town or any other governmental agency give you all information that you requested. It is a situation that presumes that most information should be available to the public, okay? But it doesn't presume everything. There are things that can be legitimately shielded for a variety of different reasons.
I agree with you.
Like, and as a result, when something is redacted, you don't know whether or not it was under FOIL or not.
Not being able to read it, of course.
It might have been a mistake, or it might have been correct. So
Right.
I have to check that.
Right. Well, yeah, that's why I'm not accusing you of anything. I'm bringing it to your attention that this information was redacted, and I don't really understand why, especially because it's his timesheets.
Yeah.
So, but as far as 27838, it hasn't been properly answered. Now, the last one that we had from last week was 25071, and there was material here, and Jason was going to straighten it out. And let's see what happened. Okay, this is FOIL request 25071. This FOIL request was submitted July 23rd, 2015. And during I had a detailed discussion with Mr. Abruzzo and with Jason of the town clerk's office during my last visit. And this is the town's response to this FOIL request. I requested, in this FOIL request, I have 4 line items. Okay, one is the complete series of resolutions, contracts, concessions agreements, amended concessions agreements, licensing documents in association, any and all business ventures, agreements, contracts with horrendous thing, doing business as SLB concession, or any other entity with the town of Oyster Bay. 1A was the building file for SLB, the Woodlands. 2 was any and all contracts, agreements, and any other documents, a series of documents that substantiate the total monetary amount of capital improvements reported and accepted from SRB concessions by the town of Oyster Bay. And 3 is all records, receipts, written estimates, photographs, any and all documents used by the town of Oyster Bay to substantiate, audit, and otherwise verify the monetary amount of capital improvements reported to various credit and lending institutions by the town of Oyster Bay, as demonstrated by the attached documents, which reports the capital improvements to the golf course facility in the amount of $4,950,000. Excuse me. In plain English, every document you have that adds up to the amount you accepted in capital improvements from SRB Concessions Incorporated. So when I came up last time, I pointed out to Mr. Ambrosio and to Jason that, like, there's just a pile of papers here. Nothing specifies this is your answer to line item 1, this is your answer to line item 2. And when I questioned this, I was encouraged to look through and come to my own conclusions of what the town was providing me. And I explained I didn't want to do that. I want to understand what information I'm being given in regards to each specific line item and be able to accurately describe what information I may not be giving that I'm asking for. So when I left off last meeting, this was supposed to be like managed so that I would understand that for the series of resolutions, contracts, concession agreements, amended concession agreements, licensing documents, all right, I'd be able to say, okay, that's this for number 1, all right? The billing file, that's this for number 2. The contract agreements, that's this for number 3. The records for the capital improvements, okay, that's number 3, or number 4, or whatever. So I'm going to take a look at this. This is the exact same pile that was here when I left a week or 2 ago, whenever it was. So again, you know, I basically wasted a lot of time last meeting because I pointed out these deficiencies to Mr. Ambrosio and to Jason, and nothing's been done to correct them. So let me take a look at this and see what's in here, and we'll take it from there.
Okay, find that out. It's going to take a little bit of time.
Listen, it's hold on. It's quarter to 2. Okay, I've been here since about 10:30. We've worked together fine. There are a number of issues that a simple phone call can find out. I mean, the clerk is giving me a certified statement or a non-certified statement that something doesn't exist. I would like the certified statement. And what you're saying is that you won't take the 2 minutes it takes to call the clerk's office and ask them if they'll give it to me.
Well, they're not. It's not going to be available right away. I'll tell you right now. I'll make the phone call.
Well, at least they can let me know if they're going to do it. I mean, you have to admit, with the inconsistencies. Hold on, let me finish what I'm saying. With the inconsistencies and the confusion that we've gone through, okay, mislabeling FOIL numbers, mixing up FOIL numbers. Listen, as far as I know, the clerk's considering these answered because he's giving me a certified statement. Okay, if that's the case, all I want to know is that's what they're doing. Then they can mail me the actual certified statement, and I'll take a copy of the non-certified one in the meantime. But I just want to know what's going on. I'm entitled to that.
Well, I'm going to check it out.
Thank you.
Let me.
It's FOIL request 27, 8, 52, 53, and 54. Now, based on the documents that we went through today, none of this material here was even involved in any of my FOIL requests. It's really weird. Like why? I mean, why?
Well, now I'm saying why. I said that I don't know exactly if that's correct because we haven't gone through any of this. You know.
Well, you see, the reason we haven't gone through it, I don't want to prevent you from making the phone call. The reason we haven't gone through it is because none of it's been identified as answering any of the FOILs that we went through, right? I mean, I got an email from Linda Herman that specifies what FOIL requests I'm supposed to come today to review, and that's what we did. and none of them led us to any of these documents. So I'm just saying, it just strikes me odd that they have all these documents here, and you know, what do they signify? What are they here for? So if you could just find out about these statements here, I'd appreciate that.
Yeah, actually, I could find out, but you know, it would be a lot easier if I was able to make personal contact with people in town so over the phone. They're not going to be.
Listen, I'm only talking about
I understand that.
these three foils.
I understand.
Here's.
I understand. Let me explain something to you. To issue a certified statement, you have to have the authority to issue a certified statement.
Okay.
Now, I don't know if the people who have the authority to do that are currently available. I'm gonna, like I said,
Okay. All right. So if you could call and ask, it'd be great. That's all I'm asking you to do. I mean, I mean, listen, Rob Mangano was here earlier, we had an issue, and they redid the certified statements immediately, right? Right? Rob Mangano brought them away, and then he came right back. Linda Herman's in the other office, they came right back and they did them 1, 2, 3. Okay, so I'm just saying that they already fixed an issue with certified statements in a matter of minutes earlier today. Okay? That's just a fact, right? It's recorded on the video.
That's what I thought the answer would be. Okay, it's all right. I tried to explain it again. He claimed that he whipped up the certified statement immediately for 9:31.
They just did it earlier today, Rob Mangano. They just changed everything around.
Okay, yeah. Okay, very good. Okay, good, thank you. Yeah, she explained that the reason she was able to get those certifications immediately was that she had the foil in front of her, and as a result, she was able to formulate the certification statement. Unless she reviewed the foil herself, she can't issue a certification.
Well, isn't this the foil file? Just like hold on a second, because you guys are so silly with the stuff you said. Just listen to me for a second. Rob Mangano brought her the 2 foil folders, 930 and 931, and she was able to redo the certified statements because she had, right. So why don't you just walk in her office, which is right around the corner right here, and bring her these 2 folders, and then she can do it for these like she did it for them, because she'll have the folder, right? Do you understand what you're saying to me? Makes no sense. Do you listen to the nonsense that you people tell me?
No.
So do me a favor then. Why don't you just walk the folders over, and then she'll have the foils, and then she could do it all over again. You know what? It doesn't matter. She can do it at a later date. My point is that you have to listen to the excuses that you're giving me, because they don't hold water.
I'm not trying to give you excuses.
Yes, you are.
I'm simply telling you that
What she
that's
said,
their
right,
procedure,
right.
What their procedure is.
Right.
Now, the point is that okay, I'll tell you what. Do you have?
You know what? I just want a copy of both of these letters.
Okay, do you want copies of those?
Yes, and I'm sorry, but there is no letter in this
Okay.
27554.
Okay, well,
So
I'll call someone that will pick up copies. You want copies of those?
yeah, but hold on a second. I want to get these straightened out before we move on to copies.
So I'll call them and they'll pick them.
I just want to know what the answer is to 27854, because there's no information. Is this pile supposed to be the answer? I don't know.
Okay, Mr. Rip wants to have some of these copied, so can you come up and pick them up? Okay, bye. Okay, now someone was...
I just want to make a record in relation to the FOIL request, 27, 8, 10, 11, 12, 14, 15, 16, and 27, 8, 38. These were all the FOIL requests that I objected to the town's answers last time I was here, and I thought they were going to get rectified and the correct information provided, or at the least a certified statement. And all those FOIL requests are all in relation to documents that were supposed to be produced by Andrew Melkenny as part of his contract, the Homeland Security contract he holds. I just spoke with Rab Mangano, and he explained to me that now the town clerk wants me to appeal these FOILs, or to appeal them. So I'm a little confused because they actually haven't been denied yet. I just asked Mr. Mangano to have the town clerk provide me with some sort of document that says they're denying me the access to the information, because they did provide information, they just provided the wrong information. So now that I pointed out to him that, I asked for a document produced by Andrew Melkenny, and you produced, a town manual, now I'm going to appeal him. I guess I could appeal him. I don't know.
Okay, so you can do an immediate appeal versus them denying it and then you appeal it?
Okay,
That's what Linda's
just
saying.
that's all right. I just want to make sure,
Relay what
I'm not
Linda's
arguing with you. I just want to make sure that we're on the same page. For
27, 810, 11.
810, 811, 812, 814, 815, 816, and 838? Okay, these are the FOIL requests that the town provided information for during a previous review. I did not agree that the information was what I was asking for. Now I've come back for a subsequent review. They provided me the same information. I objected again. And now, sorry I don't want to put words in your mouth, but Linda Herman is informing me that I now have to appeal these requests.
An immediate appeal.
Okay.
Correct.
Okay. And I had asked the town clerk to provide me with like a statement of denial, but they don't want to do that.
They said it's not required, you can do an immediate appeal.
Okay, no problem.
If you want that, I'll look into the statement.
No, it's okay, I'll do
It
the
may
appeal.
delay it.
No, it's cool, don't
If
worry
they
about it.
want to mail one out to you,
It's not a big deal. It's not a big deal. I'll do the appeal, it's okay. It's all right.
they're providing you the copies.
Oh,
of the
how
copy
about,
that
okay,
you
oh yeah,
requested.
copies of the copy.
And then we're going to look through for 25071.
For the building file. And then
and the three sub-questions.
Well, that I
file,
looked, that I looked through that folder, and that doesn't answer those questions.
But it was here last time.
Yeah, but
Okay.
what I'm saying is, last time I was here, I was, in reference to FOIL request 25071, I was presented with a building file and a yellow or manila file like this with various documents in it. I had asked for those documents to be like separated, so there was an explanation what line item for each document, what I was getting an answer for. That didn't happen. I wound up going through the documents myself anyway, and on that FOIL request 25071, I'm satisfied that line item number 1 has been resolved.
Okay.
Line item 1A is the building file, which allegedly is in the room we're going to look for.
Correct.
But line item 2 and 3 have not been resolved, so I'd either like that information or I'd like the certified statement that
Real quick,
they don't have it.
2 and 3 are,
2 is,
just a quick subject.
that's okay, any and all bills, contracts, agreements, or any other document or series of documents that substantiate the total monetary amount of capital improvements reported and or accepted from SRB Concession Incorporated by the town of Oyster Bay.
Okay.
And then, let me know when you're ready. I know that's a lot. Number 3 is all the records, the receipts, the written estimates, the photographs, and any and all documents used by the town of Oyster Bay to substantiate, audit, and otherwise verify the monetary amount of capital improvements reported to various crediting and lending institutions by the town of Oyster Bay as demonstrated by the attached document, which reports capital improvements to the golf course facility in the amount of $4,950,000. In plain English, every document you have that adds up to the amount you accepted in capital improvements from SRB Concessions Incorporated. So, to the best of my knowledge, there's like, I don't know.
This is at Woodlands.
Yeah, well, no, in everything overall.
Everything.
You know, I think the loan guarantees were reported to be like $20 million, and the majority of them are all for alleged capital improvements, so there should be a long list of capital improvements I should be reviewing. I haven't seen anything like that.
Okay,
Thank you.
okay, thank you.
You know, so we're sitting here discussing this pile of documents and wondering how much time and effort it took to put this together, because, you know, I was provided with a couple of emails from Linda Herman explaining what specific FOIL requests I should be prepared to review today. And then I had my list of the FOIL requests from the last meeting that weren't completed. So we went through all of those, and we matched up all the adjourning folders that were numbered in relation to my FOIL requests. But there was nothing that ever directed us to any of these documents. So I just find it a waste of time and money, and ultimately confusing, because could you imagine if some of these documents are in response to certain FOIL requests, but simply because the town clerk refuses to identify what he's giving me, he just puts it all in a big pile? I don't know. I mean, I don't think it's incumbent upon me just to start looking through a big pile of paper. You know, I read a specific FOIL request. It's numbered. The town attorney or the town clerk provides a folder that's numbered also, that's supposed to have, you know, the answer to that specific request. I mean, Mr. Abruzzo agrees. So, I mean, imagine if this stuff is something that I might want to look at, but because the town clerk hasn't taken the time to identify what this is, it won't be looked at. I mean, I'm not just going to start looking through stuff. So, you know, I really think there's a better way to do things in the town clerk's office in the town of Oyster Bay. I think recently I've exposed quite a few examples of malfeasance perpetrated by James Altadonna as the town clerk, and I think in the near future that needs to be addressed, and we need a new town clerk in Oyster Bay.